Tyrannosaurus rex. A dinosaur so iconic that Tyrannosaurus dominum, the in-game version, is only known by the species name of its real-world inspiration. But how was the real-life dinosaur discovered, what did it look like, and how did it live? Let's find out. In 1900 in eastern Wyoming, the first partial skeleton of what was to become known as Tyrannosaurus rex was uncovered by the assistant curator of the American Museum of Natural History, Barnum Brown. 2 years later, Brown found another partial skeleton, this time in the Hell Creek Formation in Montana. He described his discovery as a large carnivorous dinosaur, saying, "I have never seen anything like it from the Cretaceous." By 1905, the specimens had been named Tyrannosaurus rex. Its name derived from the Greek words tyrannus, meaning tyrant, and saurus, meaning lizard. The Latin word rex means king, and it was used for the species name. The dinosaur's full name translates to meaning king tyrant lizard, chosen because of its presumed size and dominance over other species from its time. Until the 1950s, Brown's discoveries were the only specimens of Tyrannosaurus known to science. But the 1960s brought a renewed interest, and 42 more skeletons were unearthed in western North America. In the 1990s, the most complete and largest Tyrannosaurus fossil ever discovered was found in the Hell Creek Formation, Montana. Discovered by amateur paleontologist Sue Hendrickson, it soon became the centre of a legal battle over its ownership. It was ruled that the fossil belonged to the landowner, and in 1997 the Field Museum of Natural History paid $7.6 million for the specimen. From 1998 to 1999, the staff at the museum spent over 25,000 hours taking the rock off the bones before it was shipped to New Jersey and mounted prior to being sent back to the museum in Chicago to be displayed. The specimen was named Sue, and from the fossils, researchers were able to establish that it had taken Sue 19 years to reach her great size, and she had died at the age of 28, the longest estimated life of any known tyrannosaur. Since the discovery of Sue, a further fossil named Stan has been found, which is around 70% complete, and a number of other partial skeletons have also been discovered. In 2006, the Montana State University revealed that it possessed the largest Tyrannosaurus skull yet discovered, measuring an enormous 1.52 meters or 5 feet long. The Tyrannosaurus rex is one of the largest land carnivores to have ever existed. Sue, the largest known specimen, measured 12.3 to 12.4 meters or 40 to 41 feet long, and was 3.66 to 3.96 meters or 12 to 13 feet tall at the hips. The most recent studies have estimated that she weighed approximately 8.4 to 8.46 tons, which is about as much as 2 adult male hippopotamus. Not all recovered species are this big though, and the estimated weight range for the species is 5.4 to 8 tons. Compared to other prehistoric giants, the Tyrannosaurus rex was only dwarfed by the Spinosaurus aegyptiacus, Giganotosaurus carolinii, and Mappusaurus rosier, and it's not much smaller than any of those. They were fractionally bigger than the Carcharodontosaurus saharicus, contrary to what we see in game. The skull of the Tyrannosaurus is exceptionally large, and a number of biological features such as large openings and a number of bones formed with a honeycomb structure helped reduce its enormous weight. Their skulls are extremely wide at the back, but they have a short, narrow snout, which would have allowed them to have unusually good binocular vision. The skull displays a number of adaptations that strengthen the structure and enable an incredibly powerful bite. In addition to this, the tip of the upper jaw was U-shaped, which would have increased the amount of tissue and bone that they could rip with one bite. Their skulls had 60 teeth, including 4 reinforced chisel-like bladed teeth that curved backwards on each side at the front of the jaw. Behind these were dagger-like teeth that have been described as lethal bananas. The largest tooth found to date is 30 centimeters or 12 inches long, including the root, and it is the largest tooth of any carnivorous dinosaur ever found. Bite marks found on Triceratops and Edmontosaurus fossils have shown that Tyrannosaurus could bite through bone. Their forelimbs were incredibly short, with a short and robust upper arm bone and even shorter lower limb bones. Each arm finished with 2 clawed fingers and a splint-like metacarpal representing the remnants of a third digit. In contrast, their hind limbs were the longest in proportion to body size of any theropod. The arms of Tyrannosaurus are comically short, although they are thought to have had some uses, such as grasping a mate during mating or holding on to struggling prey. Such an enormous skeleton should have weighed a huge amount, but the Tyrannosaurus skeleton had many hollow bones within it, which reduced its weight without significantly reducing its strength. The proportions and bulk of the animal has led scientists to deduce that it may have had a very slow turning speed, but it probably could have moved at between 11 and 25 miles per hour in a straight line. As with many bipedal dinosaurs, historically Tyrannosaurus rex was shown as a living tripod, where both its hind feet and tail were in contact with the ground, much like a modern-day kangaroo. The first complete Tyrannosaurus skeleton was arranged in this way in the American Museum of Natural History in 1915, and it stayed that way for 77 years. Since the 1970s though, scientists have realised that the pose wasn't right and couldn't have been maintained by a living animal. It put too much stress on several joints, including the hips. In the 1990s, Jurassic Park introduced the general public to a more accurate posture, one where its body is almost parallel to the ground, with its tail extended out behind to balance the head. Tyrannosaurus is popularised as a highly efficient killing machine, and research has uncovered that this is not just due to their enormous size and inbuilt killing apparatus. A study conducted at The Ohio University found that Tyrannosaurus had heightened sensory abilities. These include relatively rapid and coordinated head and eye movements, an enhanced ability to sense low-frequency sounds, and an enhanced sense of smell. A study that involved the facial reconstruction of Tyrannosaurus provided results that indicate that they had vision 13 times stronger than a human, and could have seen as far away as 6 kilometers or 3.7 miles. Little is known about their social behaviour, although there is some fossil evidence that suggests pack living. In South Dakota, 3 Tyrannosaurus skeletons of different ages were discovered in close proximity, and fossilised trackways unearthed in British Columbia, Canada, show 3 Tyrannosaurids travelling in the same direction. There would have been benefits to hunting in packs, especially considering the advanced anti-predator adaptations their prey, such as Triceratops and Ankylosaurus, displayed. But we can't say for certain, and this is an area of Tyrannosaurus study that needs more time and discoveries to understand better. We can't finish the biology section without addressing one question that gets asked quite a lot. Did Tyrannosaurus have feathers? The discovery of a feathered dinosaur in the 1990s, followed by more discoveries and further research, naturally led to debate about whether or not Tyrannosaurus may have been feathered. Some other tyrannosaurid species, such as Dilong paradoxus, have been reported to display filamentous structures, and Eutyrannus huali is also known to have had feathers covering most of its body. Skin impressions have been found of Tyrannosaurus, and all of them display a mosaic of scales. Fossils of feather, muscle, skin, and other soft tissue are incredibly rare, so the lack of fossils showing feathers sticking out of a Tyrannosaurus's arm doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't have any. Some researchers speculate that juvenile Tyrannosaurus may have had a coat of downy feathers that they lost as they grew. Tyrannosaurus rex lived between 72.7 and 66 million years ago, during the later part of the late Cretaceous. Their range stretched from Canada in the north to at least New Mexico in the south, on the western side of a large ocean called the Western Interior Seaway. Their remains have been discovered in a wide variety of habitats, including inland and coastal subtropical regions, as well as semi-arid plains. The Hell Creek Formation in Montana, where several notable Tyrannosaurus remains have been found, would have been a subtropical region with a warm and humid climate. If you've watched any of my other videos before, then you will know that the late Cretaceous came to a rather drastic end. Around 66 million years ago, an asteroid the size of a mountain crashed into an area that is known today as the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. The Chicxulub crater is thought to have been the impact site. This impact caused global devastation and climate disruption, including ferocious fires and billions of tons of sulfur being released into the atmosphere, leading to an impact winter that lasted at least a decade. This event killed 75% of all creatures and plants on the planet, including all known non-avian dinosaurs. Tyrannosaurus rex has captured the public imagination since it was first described in 1905, and is the most widely recognised dinosaur species in popular culture. Today, it is the only dinosaur that is commonly known by its full scientific name, as well as its scientific abbreviation, the T-Rex. Tyrannosaurus rex would have been a spectacular creature in life, and through scientific study and artistic recreation, we are able to glimpse into the past and witness it in all of its majesty.